Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. And I am your servant, your messenger of the love of God. I'm so glad to be able to stand before you and say that with confidence and assurance. Today I have I think, a wonderful message for you. And I'm hoping that you will stay through the end of this representation and that it is not useless. You know, you get all kinds of commentary daily from the media sources, whether it's what we consider as the established media or whether we refer to it as social media. And they come to you from all different perspectives, even religion. This is not religion that I'm sharing with you. This is what is me based upon the evidence. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to speak to you as an oratorious. I'm just a common person and speak basically common. And I don't have a teleprompter, so I'm going to be referring to some notes I've made here. And I hope that it does not tear away from the interest. But nevertheless, my friends, sisters, and brothers of American citizenry, God knows that I love you, but God loves you more. 5 times God saved my life from death, but put me in the wilderness of wisdom for 40 years that I might learn the message that he has for you. For many of these years, I have delivered the message to you, and you have not heard. Time and time again. But you have acted like a teenager, knowing all things, unwilling to listen to anyone that disagrees with you. And so parents in a situation like this put these rebellious know-it-all in the hands of God. But because God loves you and I am a servant of God, I will share with you one more time the truth of God as he has given it to me to share with you. Everything that exists on the earth is of God, directly and at the hands of his servants. Everything. Transportation, trains, cars, buses, boats, planes, bicycles, rollerblades, trucks, all from God. Food, shrimps, steaks, turkey necks, greens, collard greens, beans, fruits, breads, peanut butter, all from God. Clothes, Armani, Calvin Klein, Air Jordans, blue jeans, Guess, and many others, all from God. Shelter, mansions, hotels, houses, duplexes, tents, cages, all from God. Education, colleges, universities, high schools, preschools, homeschools, all from God. Research institutions, electricity, computers, telephones, televisions, radio, all from God. Health care, doctors, hospitals, dentists, nursing homes, disco, spaceships, space stations, everything, all God has provided for you. Everything I've mentioned here comes directly from God. or his representatives. All things God provided that you may want for nothing. All things from God that you may want for nothing. These blessings were assured by creating careers that addressed every area of life, so that men could choose according to their heart's desires. But absent from God, all that is given to you has been stolen. You own nothing. For those in debt, from car loans or no cars, homeless or mortgage debts, no health care to extreme health care, living in the streets, shelter. Maybe you have nothing. Again, you have been robbed. In America, you are robbed by the evils of the democratic capitalism process, empowered by the U.S. citizens, which are those that have a piece of the pie, and they will do nothing to shake their piece for anyone. This is the death march to hell. America, you are God's children, and God has provided all for you. And you do not have again because you have been robbed. Those that have a piece of the pie protects the robber. Neither you nor they accepts the truth, and like an incorrigible teenager, you turned out to learn from life. You haven't seen the trick of the system. For many of you who are listening to me today, I would like to just share with you a moment about the trick of the system. Hopefully it will enlighten you. You may get a better understanding. You see, the trick of the system is that in time it appears normal. In the beginning, the system was fine. It worked for everyone. But then a deceiver came along, similar to Trump. A different plan, a different outcome. But people had choice. Many joined with the deceiver, and they were vicious. Just like the Republicans are showing that their character is the same as Trump. And because the Democrats are in reality no better, they choose not to impeach. As long as he remains, his evils are more accepted by the mass public. And what had been a complaint is now becoming normal. The system before Trump is just as corrupt. A system built on the backs of slaves, where the slaves labored and whites reaped the benefits. When this system ended, if we could call it ended, the whites had everything and blacks had nothing. They were denied the 40 acres and the mule. Blacks were well aware of this corruption, but in time it was accepted as normal. So they live with it. That's the way of the systems of the world. Phony, corrupt, fake, and evil, but are allowed to continue because of a lack of courage to resist or accept accepted benefits. The children and grandchildren accepts it as normal, the way it's supposed to be. God's love prevails upon certain individuals at a time of hopelessness, and it performs an appropriate miracle, something no human can perform, like opening the eyes of a blind, or a lame to walk, a deaf to hear, a dumb to speak, or a burning bush, or a drowning one to swim, to serve as testimonials of a higher existence. He qualifies them and sends them out amongst everyone else to share the truth, to introduce the original choice. Those that hear the message and accepts it as truth have a change in mind and heart. Born again, they call it, to resist the lie, the fake, and speak truth to power. Whatever role they played, whatever benefit they gained, they forfeit for truth. This is what true Christians, true Muslims, true born-again people do. They get off the train, give up any benefits, that the truth might live. Those that can't hear or see and believe are left to suffer, that they may believe. And so, ladies and gentlemen, to be more specific, in our system, in our democratic capitalist system, all of us have accepted the way things are as being normal. Sure, there are some things that we can complain about, but basically it's normal. Our financial systems, we believe, many of you do, that it comes from God, and all you got to do is go to church, spend a little bit of time in the Bible, listen to the preacher, and for those of you who can go party without getting caught or seen by others, you're okay, and you're going to die, and you're a good person, and you're in heaven. I don't know what happens to you after you die, but let's back this monkey up. The truth of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, as I have just explained, if you didn't get it, this system is a corrupt system. This system is fake, and it's built on evil lies. You didn't start it. It was here when we came here. And so, when they didn't fix it, we accepted it as being real. And now we are the ones that perpetuate it to our children and our grandchildren if we don't stop. I stand before you because it had been my hope that we would stop. I was convinced that all we needed was someone to see clear what God had for us, to see clear how heaven could be presented on earth, who were bold enough to stand up before this darkness and shout out to you that God has a plan that would make this plan so sick and you could just live with peace and prosperity and joy and happiness in life, and every day you could wake with a smile on your face, go to bed, ladies and gentlemen, knowing that tonight was going to be great and you would be empowered by tomorrow to do a brand new day of healthy living. I was wrong. I was wrong. I came out of here and we have gotten worse now than we were ever, as far as we know. For we know that as Trump has come up on the scene, we didn't know that we were so evil, or that we had so many evil people amongst us. We knew that poverty existed. We knew that from that came crime and violence. We knew that hatred existed. From that came putting down all other people other than those that are superior by proclamation. And so we are where we are. But ladies and gentlemen, everything still belongs to God. And it has been perfected for every last human on earth. No one supposed to be running out of their country, being blocked with borders. No one is supposed to be driven out of their countries by dictators and people of ill repute. No one is supposed to suffer upon this land, and every child of God knows it, and every child of God would not rest until some peace come to the land. They would rather be shot down, murdered, and assassinated, and have not even a mouth of decent teeth before they settle for this. And so, those of you who have settled for this, you do so because you do not know any better. And Jesus, for those of you who believe in Jesus, said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. What does that mean? That means if you don't change your way, any nation that you observe and you're glad that you're not there, you're on the path to becoming just like that. So I want to thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope this has been worthwhile. Until next time, this is Eddie Marcus saying, God loves you, and so do I. Bye-bye.